Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. All things Middle-earth here with a video on the official release time for the Heroes of Middle-earth, which comes out tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific time. I want to talk about that for just a second, as well as some commanders you might want to focus on farming in the early game with some resources from the lotr.gg website, which I'll link down below. So stay tuned. All that coming up in just 1 second. Now, yes, like I said, I'll put it up on the screen here. This was posted in their main Discord in their game updates channel. The game is going live at 10 a.m. Pacific time. Again, it may be subject to delays, based on the app store that you're using, but for the most part, starting at that time, you can start looking for it to be available in the app store. I'm sure people will be posting as often as possible when they see it in their respective app stores. So I'll be going live pretty much around that time, hoping it's not too long of a wait, but we'll be just hanging out, getting the hype going, and getting ready to play. But speaking of playing in the early game, maybe you are going to be jumping in and not knowing who to focus on. I wanted to direct you to some resources that I've already started looking at. Shout out to anybody who's been a part of these projects. I know the YouTuber Tana was a part of these, as well as just any of the staff on working on the lotr.gg website. I'm going to pull it up here. There is a tier list. I'll link this down below. Again, this is lotr.gg. You can go to these different areas on the left side here and see there's tier lists. There's just details for all kinds of stuff. It's a huge database for the game. So there's a tier list, which I am sort of using as a rough guide for my own game knowledge to start out, having played a little bit in the beta, but things got changed a lot after the beta was already released. So the knowledge I have is a little bit changed on characters like the Great Goblin, for example, who from my understanding has been nerfed pretty significantly. So anyway, I don't have the end-all be-all on exactly who to start with. There are a few resources out there with some suggestions, but I just wanted to make sure you guys had some of these ideas. Again, Halbarad is rated in the S tier as one of the best, if not the best, plug-and-play character in the game on the light side. So if you see bundles with him in here, I've heard that's a good idea to go for because he's not available to farm until later. Again, there's also a farming locations that I'll put in the description below, so you can actually see where each of the characters are. So here we see Halbarad is in the challenge store, available to purchase. Again, probably like a small amount of his shards every day to unlock. So my understanding is that's a little bit of a later farm, but he fits really well into early teams. So if you do happen to see bundles, that was one thing we heard on stream last night, was there's a few players saying they regret not grabbing his bundle as one specifically. Now, obviously, if you're not going to spend, it doesn't matter. Get him when you can. But if you're looking to spend just a little bit and wanting some bang for your buck, it sounds like he might be a worthwhile investment. There are 3 other A-tier good commanders who are available. Again, Strider you start out with pretty early. Eothane and Eowyn, I believe, are farmable pretty early as well. Again, Eothane here is farmable on the light side 1-1 hard, so he's the first character like that you can actually unlock to farm, so you can start farming him right away. And Eowyn's in 1-5 of the Shadow campaign. So those 4 in terms of a starting like Rohan/Men good team or light side team are pretty available. So if you're looking to kind of lean into what meta is being established, that would probably not be a bad direction to start with those 4. I've heard suggestions like Pippin as a 5th one, as he adds some different healing, or others that just synergize well, being like in the Rohan faction, for example. But those are some suggestions on the light side. Now, as for the evil side, again, I don't just want to say like just farm the highest tier characters. Obviously, you want to make sure that their actual kits like work together and they do play as a team. But especially starting out, I think some just like good overall players are going to be helpful. I've heard that Gaz Ironhide, if I'm saying that right, is one of the better defensive characters for Arena. He is farmable in the guild campaign on 1-7. So as soon as you get in a guild and have that unlocked, you can start trying to get him going as soon as possible. You also have Bolg here, who is available in the same area as Halbarad. So it kind of depends on who you want to go for first. Maybe you can get a bundle for Halbarad and then use the challenge store points to go for Bolg. Again, it depends what you want your focus to be first, or if you want to focus on Halbarad at all. But they are both in that same challenge store. And again, the list goes on and on. I could sit here all day kind of referencing which characters are higher on the list and how you can get to them. Obviously, if they're not on this list and obtainable right now, they're just not obtainable right now. And the further they are, if they're someone like way back in the light side campaign or the shadow campaign or whatever it is, it might be a little bit more tricky to get them, to a level you want to use them at a little bit higher star ranking. So keep that in mind as you're starting. But I just wanted to provide some resources that I had seen out there, kind of sharing along for those in our community here who are getting ready to play the game. So this image here will be linked down below. Again, shout out to Dutana here. I'll link his channel down below, so check that out as well. He went through and did an entire tier list, kind of going through this as someone who played a lot more of the beta and had some good information. So check him out if you'd like to. But I'm going to link this image down below, as well as the tier list, which is on the lotr.gg website. Again, coming out tomorrow. It'll be the 10th, May 10th at 10 a.m. Pacific time is the scheduled release date. Now, again, subject to your app store and what delays they have. So hopefully it's not too much later than that. But that's when I'm planning to be live and playing for the first time. Hopefully see you there. We'll be live again. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on the stream when it's happening tomorrow. That's going to do it for me this one, and I'll see everyone in a future video.